not prepared!
Welcome to another deck guide video, guys. Today I'm gonna give you a quick ramp druid guide with a coaching session included into it, so you have a better idea of how to play with and against ramp druid. It's no secret that ramp druid is extremely powerful right now, and it's probably due to a nerf really soon. But right now the meta is you either play druid or you play hard to counter druid, so if you're actually playing druid, you're not gonna have the easiest time climbing unless you really know what you're doing with the deck. Like I said, it's really overpowered, but you need to know how to switch gears with it, when to play it safe, when to push for tempo, when to push for value, and all of that stuff in order to actually have a good win rate with it. So in this video, I will do my best to explain all of the card synergies in the deck and what you should be thinking about in particular matchups in order to better your odds of winning. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, a like and subscribe would really be awesome. Now let's check out the deck. Currently, there are all sorts of ramp druid versions out there, but this version really feels very well optimized and is pretty close to the perfect 30 cards you want to be running in ramp druid. There are similar versions that don't run the Silence, or that run Doomsayer, or even the Wind Fury, and other cards like Wrath for instance, which felt core for a while, but honestly I do believe that having Druid of the Reef instead of the Wrath is a lot better, cause A, you get to play it for 1 mana, and B, your jerry-rig is gonna be super consistent, always drawing you Nourish, which is probably what you want most of the time out of it anyway. Running the Smothering Starfish definitely helps, because that way you can also silence your own board, so stuff like Snowfall Guardian or Varden from Mage cannot really board lock you that way, as long as you left yourself a slot on the board to silence everything. And you can also use it in the mirror matchups against Big Ivus, or all sorts of other buffy things. We're not running the Battlegrounds Battlemaster, but the fact that other druid lists are running it serve an excellent purpose of the opponent never knowing if they're safe to leave you with 1 or 2 giants on the board, so they might overcommit into clearing something that's not really threatening lethal. Anyway, let's go over the cards and talk about specific synergies with them and stuff you need to be thinking about for them. Aquatic Form, for instance, is an excellent card for you to be drawing cards for 0 mana and also knowing what you have at the bottom of your deck. There are a few key points you can be thinking about when using Aquatic Form, one of them being if you don't actually plan on playing something you dredge up right now, you might as well save it for when you have a little bit more mana, so that way you can still actually draw a card with dredge instead of just putting the card you didn't really want to be playing at the top of your deck right now. Let's say we're on turn 2 and you really like to get Wild Growth for turn 3. Well, might as well just play it on turn 3 then and actually draw at the same turn. And worst case scenario, if you don't get it, you can at least pick something like Oracle Overloon or Smothering Starfish if that makes sense in the particular matchup. Another thing to think about is, if you actually find dredge through dredge, you might want to be thinning out your deck effectively that way by dredging out your Aquatic Form first and using the second one after that, and that way your deck is gonna be 1 card less, which could be pretty important in a fast aggro matchup. If you're in a value matchup, it probably won't be worth it for you to waste dredge like that, because even though it's at the bottom of your deck, you might use Moonlit Guidance to fish it out that way, so there's that as well. And the last thing about Aquatic Form is, you're actually not gonna be able to draw your Naga Giant even if you have it discounted down to 0, because the card is still gonna be considered costing 20 mana. So technically you need to also have 20 mana, aka have Guff already and then ramp to 20, which really rarely happens, in most realistic games that is. So yeah, do not think you're gonna be drawing your Giant even if you have it discounted down to 0. With Innervate, you need to be thinking about if you want to be accelerating your play and how you want to be doing it. For instance, if we're on turn 2 and you have Innervate, Wild Growth, and let's say Raid Boss and Ixtia in your hand, you're probably better off not wasting your Innervate that turn, because you're not really ramping into anything anytime soon, aside from the random top deck possibly. But the thing is, you're probably just better off hero powering that turn, and on turn 3 just use your Wild Growth, and that way you have your Innervate saved for later on. So yeah, basically the simple rule with Innervate is, use it if you're actually innervating into something, because if you just ramp and just pass next turn, you basically wasted Innervate for absolutely nothing. And you accelerated the play you would have done on the next turn, and you wouldn't have had to pass like that. Another cool thing you could be doing with Innervate is playing a Big Ivus and after that innervating into Ethereal Scales. And that way you're gonna get a gajillion armor, especially after Guff has been played. And also, don't forget that after you play Guff, he gives you 1 extra mana mana, and if you draw into Innervate, it's definitely worth it for you to Innervate into another hero power ramp, because that's absolutely no punish for you. The Guff hero power is ramp every single turn for you, so using Innervate the turn where you actually drew the Guff basically gives you an Innervate forever for the rest of the game. But again, don't mix it up with Wild Growth. Wild Growth is a one-time thing, and if you don't have more ramp for after that, it's probably not worth it for you to use the Innervate in the first place. Dozing Kelpkeeper is an excellent defensive tool, and it actually doubles up from Oracle of Elune, so that's a cool interaction you could be thinking about. And you can also awaken it the same turn you play it, with let's say playing Dozing Kelpkeeper and instantly playing Nourish after that. So you can ramp safely and actually have some reaction on the board. But you can also do it the other way around if you actually want to have a dormant minion on the board ready for whatever for later, and not just a 4/4 that the opponent gets to easily ping off with some kind of spell. So you gotta think about that. Druid of the Reef, like we said, is basically a cheaper Wrath, and you normally use it for the free 1 rush, but it can also be an excellent tool as a taunt, and again you can double it up with Oracle of Elune for some big boy plays. Urban Scale is an excellent tool for you to get a gajillion armor from, and you usually want to be using it on a big Miracle Growth. And also don't be afraid to use 2 Urban Scales at the same target, because the second one gives you 1 extra armor that way. Ibis the Forest Lord can be a great defensive but even offensive tool against some matchups. Again, you can split it up with Oracle of Elune, again you can get a ton of armor with the scales on him, but don't forget it can get silenced easily, so if you're in a Druid matchup, it's probably not a great idea for you to be tempoing out Ibis without actually removing something the same turn with him, because you've basically skipped a turn, spending your entire mana for a big Ibis, which turns to be a 1/1 in the end of the day because a lot of Druids are running the Smothering Starfish. We only run 1 Jerry-Rig Carpenter here, but it always draws us a split-up Nourish, which is an excellent card right now after it got unnerfed. Moonlit Guidance was an amazing card back in the old Ramp Druids, before this expansion came, but right now it's basically something like a worse Dredge in your early turns at least. Later on it can be pretty awesome because you get to split up 0 mana Naga Giants that way and you can easily overwhelm the opponent with it. But in aggro matchups you could just use it as a worse aquatic form if you didn't get it, because you really need to get your tools against the fast matchups, because you really don't have too much time to do anything with them. But in value matchups you can definitely go for the option to actually draw a card and get a second copy instantly that way. For Oracle of Elune, we already said you can split up all of your 1-drops, including Ibis. Jerry-Rig also gets split up, but you probably don't want that happening. And also your Naga Giants get split up if you discounted them down to 2 mana or lower. Smothering Starfish, you usually want to be using this against the mirror matchup Druids with Ibis. But like I said, you can also use them for Snowfall Guardians or all sorts of other Death Rattle effects or stuff like that. But in aggro matchups, for instance, do not be afraid to tempo it out. In the end of the day, it's a free mana 2/4 body that is probably gonna save you from 4 damage to the mouth. Also, don't forget this silences your own things, so don't do stupid plays like Scale of Onyxia, trade a few, and then use the silence thinking you're gonna be able to rush down the rest of the things after that. You won't. Trust me, we've tried. We're not proud of it. Wild Growth is just ramp, not much to discuss about it. Nourish, on the other hand, is pretty awesome because you get to choose to draw cards or ramp. And actually, in the aggro matchups, a lot of the times you will be preferring to draw cards instead. Unless you already have a pretty good hand with, let's say, Miracle Growth in there. Wildcard Guff is probably the best card in the deck because it's so good, so much value, so much card draw and ramp, all packed in the single Wildcard Guff. There is something to think about here though. A lot of the times you will have both Nourish and Wildcard Guff at the same time on turn 4 or 5, and you gotta decide which one is better. And there are a few key factors you need to think about. For one, Nourish actually discounts your giants, but it also activates your Dozing Kelpkeeper, so that might be an argument you need to think about. And also don't forget Nourish ramps you 2 mana and it actually gives you that 2 mana back the same turn, so it's basically a free mana, ramp 2 mana, and you're left with 2 mana to do what you want on that turn, which a lot of the times is just a hero power, but if there's a free one on the board that might actually be pretty good for you. Wildcard Guff, on the other hand, ramps you for 1 mana, so he's technically a 4 mana Wildcard Guff and he also draws you a card, but if you can't use his hero power the same turn, you're probably better off using Nourish unless you have an argument against that. A quick side note here is, you can actually unfreeze your hero if you use the hero card Wildcard Guff, but that's probably almost never gonna be something you need to be thinking about. But I'm just throwing it in out there. Miracle Growth is an amazing refill tool, but it also is an excellent defense tool, because a lot of the times you will get a 10/10 taunt out of it, which can be pretty huge, cause a 7 mana 10/10 taunt plus draw free cards, like what more can we be asking for? and it's usually an amazing target for your Irvin scales. Another thing about Guff is always try to figure out your entire play before you start making it, if you can, and see if you can fit in your hero power ramp, because that basically makes your hero power 1 mana, because you get a full mana crystal and not an empty one, so it's an even better wild growth forever. Scale of Onyxia can be an excellent defensive tool because it's pretty flexible, and it's a lot of stats for only 7 mana with the added bonus of Rush, and also you could actually save your raid boss Onyxia for a second time with more whelps, and that way you get to make your raid boss Onyxia immune 2 more times because we're running 2 copies of it. Kazakhstan is in the deck for all of the control matchups as well as the mirror matchup a lot of the times, and you will honestly rarely get to play him, so in some matchups it could even be played out as a tempo 8-8. Raid Boss Onyxia has a ton of stats for the mana, and don't forget to trade off Raid Boss Onyxia into whatever the hell you're trading in before you kill off all of your whelps. And also, if you can, save a few of the whelps, because forcing the opponent to actually deal with whelps and after that with Onyxia can be really hard for them, so think about that before you commit to the trades. And lastly, we have the Naga Giant, which is all around an amazing card. Matchup-wise, Naga Demon Hunter and Token Demon Hunter can be hard, as well as Face Hunter. Quest Warrior can also be not a walk in the park if they know what they're doing, but as you can see, the rest is pretty green. Against the Demon Hunters and the Warriors, you basically try to survive and stabilize around turn 6 or 7, gaining a bunch of armor while sticking a ton of stats, and usually that's enough to overwhelm them. You don't really get to stabilize too much, so you actually have to threaten lethal of your own, and that usually happens with a Oracle of Elune into a doubled up giant, or even just a big ass Ibis, because around turn 7 you probably already have at least 10 mana, and that is a huge Ibis. That would basically be a 13/13 Divine Shield Taunt Rush Ibis. In the mirror matchup with Ram Druid, you're actually pretty favored because you're not running bad cards like Wrath and Doomsayer, so it's very well optimized to win those games. Usually whoever gets their Guff first wins. But even if you didn't get it on time, you still have hope because you can try to tempo out the Druid with a fast Oracle of Elune into 4 Giants, for instance. And a lot of the time the Druid just can't handle that much stats that fast. If that doesn't happen, it all comes down to who pulls off the Kazakhstan faster. So yeah, ramping is gonna be pretty important, but you also need to figure out if it's time to start drawing instead of ramping too much, so you can get down Kazakhs faster. And with the control matchups, it all comes down to your Kazakhs usually. So yeah, you basically bang out the board, give them some boards to deal with, they clear, you refill, and boom, it's time for Kazakhstan, and he's just too much for any deck. Mulligan-wise, these are the stats for going first. Wildcard Guff is always gonna be an amazing keep, Jerry-Rig is also pretty nice, Wild Growth as well. If you're against aggro, you also will want to be keeping your Dozen Kelp Keeper, and even Druid of the Reef, but you probably don't want to be tempoing it out and just save it as a free one removal for something big later. And if you already have something to innervate into, you can keep that as well. So if you have, let's say, Wildcard Guff in hand, you can also keep Innervate. Same goes for Nourish. Smothering Starfish, I wouldn't really be thinking about keeping it when going first too much. And probably same goes for Oracle of Elune, but since we're using 2 of them, you could actually keep one against aggro matchups, because a turn 4 Oracle of Elune into split up those in Kelp Keeper can be pretty huge. Miracle Growth can also be a keep against slower matchups though. When on the coin, again Jerry-Rig and Wildcard Guff are at the top. If you're against aggro, again the 1-drops make a lot of sense. Innervate becomes a lot more keepable as well. Nourish would be fine. If you're against a slower matchup, Miracle Growth as well. Wild Growth still amazing. And if you think you're against a faster matchup, Scale of Onyxia can also be amazing too. Aquatic Form, I still like keeping it, because you get a lot of information like that. This way not only you get to pick out of free cards instead of the Aquatic Form, but you also get to know what's at the bottom of your deck, so you know for a fact that you're not getting the card you're hoping for if you know it's at the bottom. Moonlit Guidance would be a rare keep for me, but if you already have some good ramp going, you can afford to keep Moonlit Guidance as well. All in all, the deck is not too cheap, and we're definitely expecting nerfs coming its way sooner rather than later, so be careful wasting too much dust on this one. It's probably not gonna remain as strong as it is right now. If you need more help with this deck or other decks in Standard or even in Wild, definitely feel free to hire me for some Hearthstone coaching for as low as $20 per hour, or even less if you hire me for a 3-hour coaching session. And you can be sure I will do my best to make you a better Hearthstone player. That's gonna be it for the deck guide. Now let's check out some of the games from last night's coaching session with Jadis. Her MMR is actually for 11x, so even though the ranks on some of the games don't look too amazing, don't forget we're still playing against basically top 1000 legend players, so there's that. Anyway, hope you enjoy the games.
Okay, just Guff.
Just Guff it.
Yep.
Been having a lot of fun with duels lately. Farming that shit up. A lot of stupid misplays happening there from my opponents. Hey, there's that urban skill. Thanks, game. Really wanted it. 2 times in a row instead of the last game even once. Really wanted that.
Yeah, so it's a pass. But
the only benefit here would be to be playing the dozing Kelp Keeper, but we probably don't even want to because this guy's probably Face Hunter, so we chill.
Yep.
Against this guy, I guess we just try to hard ramp, deal with the board with he. Okay, what? Is he face? Is that what he's trying to communicate? Okay, there's that fucking 1-drop we were hoping for. Let's see the aquatic form first, so we have better odds of actually drawing something out of it. Okay, I mean, we do draw, but we also are very passionate about that ramp. Jerry does draw us ramp, but so does Guff. What do you think is the pick?
I think the ramp.
Yeah, same.
Goes. Okay.
Samesies. Yeah, do that and rush into the 2-free.
Okay. Same idea.
Spank it silly.
The coaching is working.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, for the new
hey, there's that quest we were talking
viewers.
About. Look at this guy was actually kind of smart about what we just did, didn't you notice? Like, he actually used the quest for more vicious shit spear damage. That was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, rip the ramp.
Yep.
Ramp the rip.
For new viewers, if you just say the play, it doesn't mean it's not a coaching because I am thinking with you.
Yeah, for sure. But
you know
the thing is, I'm doing my best to actually go fast forward on plays that we don't really need much to discuss about.
Yeah,
trying to save time and whatnot, but
I know
it's good that we're on the same page.
Yeah, I know it, but not everybody on the viewer side. That's why I wanted to clear. So.
Okay, next turn we get to play one of the 2/7 drops. Looks like Scale of Onyxia to me. Okay, he's getting as much as he can from that shit. He is playing it kind of weirdly. I think he has Furious Hell in there. And he does? Shocking. Okay, has to be the scale. Next turn we can actually use the Miracle Growth with Urban Scale. Oh shit, both are called scales.
Yeah,
Sad news is we're actually leaving him with targets. Sad news is we're leaving him with targets to fuck around with, and boy does he love fucking around with them.
So, scale, you mean the Onyxia or the Earthen? Yeah. Was the
well, the good thing is they're very different cards, so not that big a chance for us to mess that one up.
Yeah,
okay,
but if you play only scale, then...
For sure. We're not gonna gain that much armor out of this Miracle Growth, but God knows we gotta rip it before we rip. Yeah.
Okay.
7-drop. Fascinating. Okay, it's actually a decent amount. Yeah, slap it. Okay.
It's not bad.
God damn it. Everything's targeting face, bro. Stop it. Detente, por favor. So yeah, we would have been dead, very dead. We didn't do what we do. And if we don't get some speck of armor right now, we're also very dead. Is there a reason for us to do Dredge or Moonlit one before the other? I guess with Aquatic form first we thin out for a better Moonlit, I think. So yeah, let's Dredge first. Jerry Rig. And I think you play it so we thin out the deck even further. And now rip the... actually, should we just draw 3 cards? Let's do that. Draw 3 cards. Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Okay, we have Innervate still, so Moonlit Guidance. Quick. There's the Urban. Innervate into it on the 8/8.
Earthen.
Yeah, Innervate.
Innervate.
Give it on the
8/8.
8/8. Slap mouth. And we did the thing. Well, you can see how we did so many little things that gave us the better outs to actually get that shit. And God knows we were fucking desperate for it. And now we actually have it twice.
Yeah, one more.
Did it matter? Please tell me it mattered. It did! It fucking did! It mattered quite a bit. If we had Innervate right now, we would have gone Ibis, but we don't, so we won't. Is there a way for us to get even better results here? There is. Played a 1-drop Dozing Kelper.
Yep, Dozing Copper.
We're gonna mill. Go with Miracle Growth. 7 mana Miracle Growth.
Yep.
Hero Power Ramp.
Obviously, yeah.
And
And
give it
the
on
10,
the 10.
10.
Yes, give it on the 10. The 4/4 and the small shits kill the 7, and the rest is face. And I think we did this man's dirty. I think this man's gone belly up now.
Mm-hmm.
So many little things to give us that a little bit of extra edge, chat. So many little things. People would have just said, nah man, it's my fucking RNG, couldn't do it. Well, what you did about it? Did you do something about it? Okay, not out of the woods yet. Did I flex? Did you make me? How's it going, Prof? Okay, problem is we're still not out of the woods. But at this point, he don't do much. He don't do much at this point. He doesn't have phase damage as much. Got him. Easy.
Okay.
Whew. Whew. We did the thing. That was close.
Yeah.
That was close. Like, the way we dredged first, found Jerry-Rig, finned out with Jerry-Rig, and actually drew even more with the Nourish. Like, the Nourish could have gotten us the Urban, but it actually got us Innervate, which was also still okay and was still allowing us the Moonlit afterwards. So, like, we had the option to Moonlit Guidance, which was showing us free cards. But we actually drew free cards first, thinning out the deck, and after that going with Moonlit, with the deck being free cards less. And we had both the Urban scales in there, so we had so many shots of actually finding it. And if even we didn't find it from the Nourish, but we still found Innervate, which was giving us the possibility of Moonlit there. So yeah, really pushed the deck to the limits this time. Oh, for sure, Prof, for sure. Okay, another Doo-Doo Hunter. Yet another one of those.
Wild Growth and 1 Moonlit.
Moonlit actually is not that big a keep nowadays, huh?
Okay, then
Let me just double check again, but surprisingly Moonlit ain't that hot anymore. I mean, it's not surprising. Moonlit is basically a worse aquatic form right now. And aquatic form is not that big a keep either nowadays, is it? It's just Wild Growth. I think it's just Wild Growth.
Okay.
Like, back in the day with the old Ram Druid, I feel like we were keeping Moonlit because we just didn't have much shit to do early on. Like, with this deck, you have so many 1-drops. So many 1-drops, so...
And we drew some.
Mm-hmm. Boy, did we howdy. Rip him.
Yep.
Rip him good. Mm-hmm. These 1/3s are very scary. Like, these 1/3s are like unnerfed mana worm, you know? Literally unnerfed mana worm. but they don't get to keep the damage, so at least we got that going. Imagine having this in Classic. Like, what the fuck were they even doing back then? What is this then, bro? Okay, what do you think we're doing in this particular situation?
Coin out Wild Grove because we have 2 of them.
Yeah, in this case, we do it because we just keep on ramping. Like, if we pass this turn, yeah, you ramp next turn and you have the coin. But in this particular case, you get to chain the ramp, so gotta start doing that thing. Okay, has the guy. Can we get another 1-drop possibly? Por favor. Nope.
So.
That's a negative. Yeah, rip the Wild Growth. That is a very large 4-3. If they're running the 4-3, I think this is supposed to be the Naga deck. Not really sure. Probably. Okay, what do you want to do this time?
I'm thinking if you can get something useful from the Moonlit. I'm not sure.
I think that's what we do as well. I'd rather go with Moonlit here. I think we've ramped enough for now, so let's try to get some worth stuff. We found the Dozen Kelp Keeper. And I think you go for it. Yeah, take the 1-drop. Do you see the play now?
1-drop, Moonlit again.
No, Oracle into Dozing. It actually splits up.
Yeah.
Would have been awesome if we could actually play both of them right now, but this is pretty good as well. And next turn we just get to slap another Dozing into a Nourish, and that awakens all of those.
Okay.
That's a pretty good clear for us like that. It's basically a 1-mana Umbrella.
True.
Okay, Oracle lived a full life. She already did what she was supposed to do in this matchup. I mean, we have 2 of them. That's the other cool part about this deck. You get to abuse the Oracle early, you get to abuse it late. Oh, Bury. That's not better in this case, though. At least I don't think it is.
Kelp Keeper, Nourish.
Kelp Keeper and Nourish for card draw.
Yep.
Okay. What else do you think we do?
We can innervate for Moonlit. Or just scales for... Yeah, we have both of them. Just scales for...
Definitely think we need to use at least 1 scale. But can we afford to use both? Because if we use both, that's about it for the armor.
Yep.
I think we should be greedy and only use 1. Use the left one. Okay, use it. If you show it, you use it. Like, never show him you can target your minions twice. Like, that's the biggest giveaway you can give. Just use a 4/4. He has so many 1/1s, he's just gonna value trade it anyway. Use the 5 on the 2/2 and kill the 1 as well. That's about it. But yeah, never show your opponent this much information. Like, I'm doing my best to not show even the information we thought that, because we were kind of telegraphing we were having the Urban Scale. Not really, if we have to be completely honest, but like, showing him the arrows, that's just a dead giveaway at 1 mana. What else can you target with? Nothing. There's literally nothing else you can target with for that low. Okay. We're surviving at 2 health. Would have been 1 if he went all face. Alrighty then. What do you think the play is?
Scale of Onyx here.
Yeah, scale first. Kill as much as you can. And rip the giant into Urban Scale. Yep, Trim gets it. And we're
Yep.
still far from the woods. Far from out of the woods, but we're getting there. If you top deck Ibis, if you get Miracle Growth, we have so many shots with Moonlit Guidance and the top deck alone, but let's see what health we're working with, because these guys tend to have a lot of slap. A lot of slap left in them. If he's running the Fellgorger, he's probably running the 0 mana deal 3 damage to face as well, isn't he? That's what I'd assume. Yeah, that as well, that as well. But if we have a taunt in the way, a big one, maybe we're not. Let's fuck around and find out. Would have been lovely if this top deck Innervate was an actual Ibis, because then we could have Ibis Innervate Slap Armor. There's that damage I was talking about, full price. Fell fucking Barrage, at least one eats it. But yeah, fucking Ibis one turn later, bro.
Innervate Ibis.
Is there anything far better than this that we can actually hope for? I mean, Guff would be lovely in terms of gaining some armor, but I don't know. The problem is the goddamn Fell Barrage is gonna land phase because we're the lowest health enemy, and we're always gonna be. I think you Ibis Innervate Hero Power for that extra bit of health, but let's see if that actually matters. Ibis trades and a slap face, and let's pretend it's enough. 6 health. Jace has 1 Fell Barrage for our face, and the Predation could go face as well, or he could have a 0-1. Kept it from the start. Did you see the XP bar?
Yeah,
He can
not
go.
yet.
He was targeting face.
But I don't see the XP bar
That's
yet.
good. That's a good sign.
I know what do you mean.
There you go. There you go. Slap it. Slap it, silly. Sudoku. There you go.
Now I see this
Damn,
bar.
boy. Damn, boy.
It
Okay, yet another
This was-
very, very close game now, wasn't it?
Very, very close.
Very close, and we knew what we were fighting for, and we did it. Did it like a champ. Honorable Sudoku. Yep, he should have gotten an achievement for that. Should have get the ticker on honorable kill. That was actually an honorable kill, but he honorably killed himself. 11 for 11. Ibis mattered very much. Like, I woke up 8 a.m. this morning, did a 12-win run with Druid on duels, had breakfast, did a 12-win run with Sir Finley on duels, did a bunch of battlegrounds, did a bunch of mercenaries, and now we're doing this. And I'm like, I overdid it. I overdid it, chat. Like, I was a useless member of society today. I literally did meaningless Hearthstone gaming today. Like, literally, I'm not gonna do a single video out of that shit. That did not help me become a better coach. And yeah, now we're here. But I'm still doing quite beautifully today, I'd say. Another Druid, though.
Yeah, and we have Guff.
I
It's
think
a
the
keep.
whole hand makes a lot of
And,
sense in it.
Yes,
Here we go.
I wanted to ask if we have Guff, then could we keep both of them?
I mean, Miracle Growth, I think, was gonna be... Yeah, it wasn't gonna be a keep going first, I guess. Going second, it would have. But yeah, that's a full keep.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because-
it became meaningful when I actually make content out of it, or actually become a better coach out of it, but I literally did something I'm not gonna do jack shit with.
Pass. Pass? Pass.
Yeah, I think so. Like, the more I think about it, wasting Aquatic Form on turn 1 is never a correct play. Like, I guess you only use it on turn 3, unless you're actually looking for some actual removal early on or some shit like that, I don't know. But the more I think about it, wasting Aquatic Form on 1 is just useless. Like, might as well wait for it to be a possible card draw too. Oh man, let's go. Well, slap in a hero power. I guess now it would have been debatable to maybe start with aquatic form for a possible jerry rig. That would have been acceptable. Like, you gotta use aquatic form where you're actually happy of playing something on curve, you know? Okay, he coins out like that. That must mean he has more where that came from, or that he's not very good at the deck. One or the above.
Okay, growth? Right.
Yeah,
growth?
just growth this time. And next turn we get the nourish for a possible... we get the dredge for a possible nourish.
Yep.
If we don't get it, we get guff. Okay. Top deck that. Dredge these nuts. What does that even mean? Okay. Shit's awaken. Yeah, let's dredge it up.
No nourish, but we could pick the wild growth.
This hand is very close to being of absolute bullshit.
And which one changes that?
If we pick Naga Giant and get Oracle of Elune soon, we can do what that Druid did to us a few games earlier.
Okay, then...
We could actually... You know what? Pick Innervate and let's guff Innervate Ramp.
Guff, Innervate, and ramp it up.
Do you ever drop the dosing? Yeah, drop the dosing so next turn you get the ramp into Miracle Growth.
Yep.
Okay, looking decent. Getting an Ixia also not bad as a reactive tool. You don't really want to use it as an offensive tool, because if they have their Ixia, you get giga-fucked. Because they get the actual good trade and we don't. Oh boy.
Okay. Which one?
I'd still go with ramp into Miracle.
Okie doke.
It's a Miracle, chat.
4/4 trades.
Yeah, 4/4 trades the 4/4 because we do know he has Wrath in hand. He would have nourished 5 times by now. He's targeting his face with the split up nourish, chat. Okay, it's a Miracle, chat. Okay, what do you want to do here?
I wanted to ask if we Onyxiate.
I think it's the best play too. Especially since he does not have 10 mana right now. He could innervate it, but even then, he shouldn't get that good of a trade out of it. Onyxia and Wealthy Boys do the thing. And slappy slappy. I just noticed something interesting. You could actually manipulate the positioning with Onyxia. Because right now we knew we were using 2 whelps to trade, and if we wanted Onyxia to be in the middle of the taunt, you could have played Onyxia on the far left and used the right whelps. Because Onyxia spawns the free whelps on the left first. That's actually a fascinating tip, which is literally gonna be never relevant for anything. But still, it's kind of cute, you know? It's actually kind of a cool tip right there. Okay, fascinating, fascinating.
Mm. Do we go for card throw here?
For what?
No.
Do we go for what?
I mean, the miracle.
We do, but I think we first nourish for more ramp. Really hit him where it hurts. Show him what he never got.
Yeah.
Okay, and hero power ramp now. And now slap him with these nuts. What we get, what we get. Come on, oracles, fucking hell. Just slap him in the face. By the way, Onyxia does not glow green when she can attack after she loses the immunity. That is a very annoying bug that is gonna probably cause a lot of people to forget to attack with her. That's all I think.
Okay.
That's all I think. We saved the Naga boys for some big boy.
Oracle.
Elune soon, yeah. He's gonna try to do it. Okay. Definitely need the Oracle. We could Whelpies, actually.
Yeah, Whelpies are good.
They're okay. We don't really have too much room for the Whelpies, but still. Okay. We're still gonna try for Oracle first, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see.
So we're gonna go with Moonlit first. Let's.
Yep.
Does this change? We get 20 damage out of Whelps like that.
Yeah, and we can trade with Onyxia.
I mean, this way we just trade all of the giants, and at this point, what does he do? Yeah, whelp it up. Use 4 on the giants. Well, yeah. Make sure to trade Onyxia first before you kill all of the giants. Trade it into an 8/8. Kill a giant, slap it into another giant. Whelp. Actually, trade the whelp. Hero power ramp.
Go it again.
Do it again. Free trade into the giant. 9/9 trades the other giant, I think.
And Oracle.
Yeah, kill the Oracle for sure. That's all I think still. We can read it out still.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Problem is Onyxia dies pretty easily here, but best he can do is Oracle into Ivus, and we have the silence, so we don't need to be cautious about that. And also, he only has 10 mana, fucking pleb. He could innervate up to 9, but far from optimal. Maybe we should have used the 9 into the Oracle instead, and leave the Whelps. I think that would have been a far better play. 9 into Oracle and leave a couple of Whelps so the Onyxia is actually clunky to kill. That was stupid of us, killing the Whelps like that. Oh well.
Next time.
We're still pretty far ahead, but it is something to definitely think about. It was meaningless for us to do the stupid trades like that. Like, leading 2-1s against the Druid is so clunky for them because they don't have any swipe or meaningful cleave damage like that, so it's far better to leave a couple of Whelps to fuck around for the Onyxia. I mean, he can just scale or Onyxia himself, but still, because right now he just gets to awaken those and fuck it up. But it's a very, very one game for us, so it doesn't matter. We know that one of the giants is at the bottom.
Yep. But we need Oracle now.
Let's hero power for draw first.
Yep. Moonlit?
Yes. Fucking hell, dude. Giant.
Play it.
Yes, play it twice like that. Fuck it, play it 3 times like that. Who needs a fucking Elune anyway?
Sure. Or do we card draw?
Play the 1 mana dozing. 1 mana dozing.
Yeah.
Nourish for card draw.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, go fast.
Yeah.
Found an oracle. Use the oracle and played a 1-mana Druid of the Reef for Rush.
Yep, Druid of the Reef Rush.
Yeah, quickly. Trade all of them, yes. Play another Giant and play Druid of the Reef for Taunt. And Jerry Rig for if you don't have room, doesn't matter.
No.
That's all, that's all. Looking good. Looking good, chat.
Yep.
Poor bastard. Poor bastard. Look at him at 10 mana. And yeah, lethal with Urban Scale. Got him good. We don't miss those.
I showed it.
Yeah, you did. He knew, chat. He knew. Okay. Are we at a win streak again?
Yes.
Nice. How many stars we at?
3. That's 6.
Rank
So,
6, 3 stars. Oh boy, let's go down rank 4. This is not the most optimal hand I've seen, but it actually works, kinda.
Yeah, it seems like something not so bad.
I think it's acceptable. Yeah, let's keep the whole thing.
Okay. Because I can imagine much worse.
Yeah. We've seen a much worse hand. Kazakhstan, Onyxia Giant.
Yeah.
Something along those lines, right? Hero Power Demon Hunter, those are rare.
Dosing?
Yeah, I played a left one though. The left one, the real one. Okay, that's about it. We're getting as much early game as we could have asked for, so that's always nice. It looks like a Jace Demon Hunter to me. The Jace variant. Jace Naga variant, I guess.
Okay.
Uh,
Check the aquatic.
what are you looking for?
Guff.
So why use it this turn? No reason to. Just play the
okay.
1-drop. Drop
Okay.
another 1-drop and we're chilling. Chilling like a
Okay.
villain.
Okay.
If we didn't top decks, if we didn't top deck this one, I think we would have used the coin into Wild Growth. But since we got another good 1-drop, we want a tempo for defense like this. I think we're pretty happy. Yeah, this definitely looks like the Naga Jace variant. Oh boy, now there's 2 of them.
Might grow.
Yeah, just grow it up. Okay, we're still saving these. I mean, not that we even could if we wanted to, but still hiding them in the dormant is helpful because you get to do this. Hey, look at that, he overpaid for the Drekthar shit. Okay, well, that's kind of annoying because you gotta trigger that guy, but would
Nourish?
not mind doing it with the Nourish, yeah. Yeah, Nourish for ramp because we have the Miracle Growth. How are we gonna do this?
We can start with the 2 Trogs.
Would be a damn shame if he has the free attack though.
It's true.
Yeah, I think you hero power and attack a Trog with your face, and you kill 1 Trog, 1 full health Trog, and 1/2. The Battle Fiend as well. Might be just might be a deck without Jace actually. the Jace variant does not run Spectral Sight, so this must be Drekthar Naga.
Mhm. Okay.
Chat kind of fell asleep. Everybody's with the pen and paper. Decent viewership though. Told you he's gonna have that shit, so that thing would have grown quite fast. Is he gonna have the weapon? Please don't have the weapon. At least don't have the weapon. Doesn't have the weapon. Let's go. Okay. Well, good news is we don't care about the Trog, so we can just rip the Miracle first.
Miracle.
Or should we actually Moonlit for a possible Whelp?
Check Moonlit.
Yeah, let's
Because
check
we
Moonlit. Worst case scenario, we coin it.
Yeah. Oracle.
I think it's another Moonlit for later. We should have dredged first though.
Ah, true.
So pick the Moonlit again. Use coin and dredge.
Coin and dredge.
Yes. Oh, there it is. Scale of Onyxia.
Yep, and plate.
Yes.
Plate? Plate.
Yeah, plate. Kill the Trog, the Drekthar, the 2/2, and some of the Whelps.
The fell wings.
Yeah, the Whelp wings.
What wings? Yeah. And we know that Guff is on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. There he is. Must have been the wind. Boils. Okay.
We could Miracle and then and then Druid of the Rift to 1/3.
Okay, let's Miracle first, sure. I like that.
It's 1 stats more.
Okay, we found the Urban skill. You love to see it.
We can do
Well,
that
we
too.
can.
So,
Yeah, do it both on the 7.
what?
Oh shit, you should have right-clicked. Okay,
But
that's
I
gonna cost
didn't
us. I think you thought you were dragging the Urban skills, didn't you? Anyway, coin Urban twice on the 7/7. But this surviving is kind of a big deal. Because now
Yeah,
she's gonna have
but,
an easy way to clear it.
I played the card and somehow I didn't choose.
Oh,
I played
no.
the card
Oh,
and
no.
it was somehow maybe
But
my mouse, but
yeah, could have been a problem with the mouse clicking on its own or something, I don't know. Okay, well, he didn't really abuse the 1/3 too much, so at least we got that going. He still, a single spell still abuses quite a bit though.
mhm.
Okay. Should be able to hold on. We still have another Miracle Growth left in the deck. Okay, there's a bit of punish. 2 extra damage we didn't need. Okay, so we gotta go with Moonlit Guidance here. With Jerry, we do thin out the deck. But it also... I don't know, I think it's still Moonlit first.
Okay.
Fuck. Moonlit again. Okay, pick Whelps and innervate him.
Mhm.
Okay. It's not amazing that we're leaving him with so many whelps for him to trade off from, but I don't think he actually runs that many rushy shits. The Naga variant doesn't have that many rushy shits. Does it even have any rushy shits? A lot of phase damage, fam. On Dredges for a second time, so... Did the game freeze?
No.
Is he covering a card right now?
Yeah.
It went back.
Went back.
Because I just shot the cannon and I was like, oh no.
The cannon, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do that here. Move it, guidance. Or actually,
Yep.
should we? Nah, that's fine.
Sorry.
Iverson, play it. Iverson, play it and go fuck himself. Smacky, smacky. Let's go. Ivus is his worst enemy.
And we have another one.
We'll fucking do it again.
Maybe we can also, after that, tempo out the Kazakusan.
Second Ivus is probably the best bet if he actually has a way to do something with this one.
Yeah, second Ivus, but then if we need,
Yeah,
then
sure.
we can...
Yeah, at this point, it's not a game about Kazakhstan treasures, it's about not dying to death. Okay, these whelps are gonna take a few shots for the good. For the good of our people. Actually, it's always gonna be attacking. It's gonna be smacking into the Ivus as well. It's never attacking our face because we are at 15 and Ivus is at 9. I should stop clicking shit. Okay, takes it like a man. Takes it like a manly man. Thanks. We know Guff's at the bottom.
Hmm?
We know that for a fact.
Guff and Druid of the Reef.
Yeah, but I think you just Ivus the lady and Ivus Ghostface.
Okay, doc. The lady.
Yeah, easy. Got him good.
Okay.
Alrighty. Round 5 as advertised, this time for real. Well, new meta, new shit, a lot of new stuff to learn, so... One of my greatest features as a coach is knowing the meta, and the meta was all over the place, honestly. But this time we did a lot better, like...